You know, that specific, almost universal feeling of walking into a crowded room and seeing everyone perfectly clustered together, and you just feel like you're standing on your own deserted island.
Oh, yeah, the emotional geography of that room is just completely isolating. You feel hypervisible and invisible all at the exact same time. And the nervous system actually treats that social exclusion as a literal survival threat.
Wow, a survival threat. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking that lifelong feeling of being an outcast. Our mission here is to figure out why the pursuit of fitting in is so exhausting and how, giving up on belonging might actually be the secret to finding your true people.
Right, and we see the defensive tactics for this start incredibly early in life. The strategies we use to cope are resourceful, sure, but they really stem from a place of deep insecurity. It's a need to self-protect.
Oh, absolutely. Let's look at the classic middle school lunch table. I mean, we've all seen the kid who brings a book and just stares at the pages.
Yeah, they aren't even reading.
Exactly. They're using it as this physical shield to avoid looking like a loser sitting all alone.
Right, it's an early form of masking. And the isolation isn't just behavioral, it's amplified by physical and cultural markers too.
Like what?
Well, imagine the deep anxiety of lacking the popular clothing brands, or, say, opening a lunchbox packed with homemade pork and leek dumplings, only to be mocked by peers eating standard peanut butter or Spam sandwiches. The instinct is to completely disappear.
I mean, trying to survive that environment is like putting on a heavy suit of armor. You strap it on because you think it will protect you from the lunchroom sneers.
Yeah, exactly.
But armor doesn't just block the attacks, right? It physically prevents anyone from feeling your warmth. It just isolates you even more.
And the weight of that armor kind of dictates your next move. Eventually, the environment changes and you can't just hide behind a book forever.
But wait, as we grow up, isn't adapting just a necessary social survival skill? Like we have to learn how to blend in to function.
Well, adapting is a survival skill, sure. But what often happens instead is psychological masking. Think about the intense anxiety of a freshman college party.
Oh, the worst.
Right. Standing completely stiff while everyone else is seamlessly mingling and taking shots, it triggers that same childhood panic. So the strategy evolves.
Right. So instead of hiding physically, you hide psychologically by artificially amplifying your personality.
Exactly. You invent this extroverted persona just to secure an invitation into a friend group.
And the wild thing is, it actually works.
It does work. You get into the group. But the paradox is that the dynamics soon turn toxic because your values don't actually align. You end up feeling like an absolute imposter in your own life.
Think about this for a second, though. If you engineer a fake persona to avoid rejection, you kind of guarantee that you can never actually be accepted. Because the you they're accepting doesn't even exist.
That is incredibly profound, yeah.
You're simply traded physical isolation for deep emotional isolation.
And the cognitive load of maintaining that social chameleon act is immense. I mean, the brain is constantly monitoring your behavior to ensure the mask doesn't slip.
Which sounds exhausting.
It is. That relentless performance can only go on for so long before the sheer exhaustion forces a breaking point.
And that exhaustion is really the catalyst for the breakthrough, isn't it? It brings you to this wildly liberating realization. If you don't actually belong in any of these curated groups, you have absolutely nothing left to lose.
Yes. The fear of judgment vanishes. Without an exclusive circle around to constantly evaluate you, the social stakes drop to zero. You just don't have to perform anymore.
Which completely unlocks the courage to create, like deciding to finally post content on social media, putting your unfiltered thoughts out into the world.
Right, because by dropping the exhausting effort to belong to a specific crowd, you stop acting.
And that authenticity functions as a beacon.
Precisely. When you stop filtering yourself, the mechanism of change activates. You naturally start attracting people who genuinely align with your true personality.
You build your own community. So the takeaway for you listening isn't some cliche about just being yourself.
No, definitely not.
It's understanding that engineering a fake version of yourself is a trap. Stop trying to belong so you can finally be found.
The only way to discover your true people is to let them see who you actually are without the armor.
Beautifully said. So we'll leave you with this to chew on. If you completely stopped worrying about what a specific group thought of you, what is the very first thing you would do or create tomorrow?